Hi there, and welcome to the Call to Cinema. I am Aaron, and hey there, Antoine. Welcome to being the first one here. Uh, Big news. So, if you're watching this and you're reading the thing down below, then you know it's actually some pretty big news. Actually, there's more than one thing. Hey there, Chris. uh, that's uh, that's actually big news in the 4K. We got a couple things to talk about. Well, we got a few things to talk about. Either way, but one of the biggest things, and this came about because actually I was speaking to like a friend of mine. Hey there, Uncle Fister. Hey there, Griff. Hey there, Franco. Hey, John. Who said, I'm never, you know, 4K is not for me. So he was like, I'm not, it's not something I'm going to do. I collect out the classics. That's not me. you know. But yesterday, after this news, I got a comment from him, and he said, "So, I'm looking at 4K TVs." Bonjour, Matthew. What do you guys think? Like, we'll go into like talking about this. Hey, Dave. But some people hate when I say hey to people on here. When they're coming on, they're like, "Hey, you say hi too much." That's the least I can do. So, what do you guys think? Yo, Richard, what do you think about this? Are you excited? Are you stoked? Are you like indifferent? Has this, if you're not 4K already, well, if you're 4K, are you excited about this? Hey there, Alan. If you're not 4K, is this tempting you at all? See, a couple years back, you follow my channel, you know that we went 4K here, and we went there around the time like Christopher Nolan came out and put out all his films in 4K, and we like Nolan here in the house. You think Citizen Kane? Do they even have Citizen Kane? And a lot of people went 4K when Christopher Nolan put out his 4K set. You can actually kind of gauge like like the increase in 4K during the Christopher Nolan set. But here, this is bringing it to another level. People have been worried a lot about 4K for 3 years. Right on. Exactly. Crash, Parasite, great ones. Think about getting a 4K TV yourself. I do have one. I've got a 4K TV right here, which is what I'm like looking at your comments on. Just so you know. I've just got a smaller one now. We're getting a bigger one once we move. But right now we got a 55-inch Samsung with a surround sound system, and it is and we use the Xbox One S as our 4K player. Well, Criterion still DVD. It'll be interesting to see if, DVD still sell like so more than likely. See, when Criterion was a late adapter to Blu-ray, Criterion started doing the like Blu-ray and DVD combo packs. Remember those? And they had like the kind of the cool like cardboardy things. Then they stopped doing them. They stopped doing the combo packs and they just started doing Blu-ray because it was more fortuitous for them. So I can eventually see them going to 4K and Blu-ray and probably just dropping off of the DVD down the road. Now they still have things like their Eclipse line and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure when the last Eclipse one came out. I don't keep up with that label. Got Elephant Man, a Police Story 1-2, nice. Like it's great. Like there's some great players out there, Dave. Any of the game systems now, the new game systems, and even like Play 4K, even the old Xbox One S, which has got to be fairly cheap by now, and One X, they both have a 4K player in them as well, and a good 4K player too, which I was worried about because it was a game system first, and I was worried, was it going to be a decent 4K player? It was. So that is pretty stoked. But this is a good sign for physical media as well. There's been a lot of, hey there, John, welcome, man. There's been a bit of doom and gloom in the whole, like, there's all this streaming stuff out there. Is physical media going away? Oh no. No, I don't think so. I think the difference between their one 3D title basically and 4K is like 3D was definitely, hey the river was definitely more of a gimmick when it came to for what they were doing. But 4K is legitimately become the standard right now. If you go to like your local Walmart or Target or Best Buy, anywhere like that, um, then you're going to notice that most of the systems right now, most of the TVs that are coming out now are, and even like our 4K television sets, and they're getting a lot cheaper. The technology has gotten there to the point where it's accessible, like readily accessible for the average person. So it only makes sense that if you've got an older TV and you're going to get a new TV, there's a lot of 4K options now as opposed to what there was before. PS5. I don't. You're one of the people that actually got a PS5. That is pretty impressive. I'm impressed. I'm gonna put this over here so I can drink my tea. But what do you guys think will be the first one that they put out? They said it's gonna be something within the last 30 years. That actually kind of surprised me. See, I had some like ideas that I joked with my better half. I'm like, maybe they'll put it Wes Anderson because Criterion Wes Anderson. Ricky, well, we got some 4K announcements here. The first one is about Criterion. The second one is going to be about those Halloween 4Ks, which we'll talk about in a little bit because there's some stuff there as well. And a lot of places, brick and mortar places right now, will definitely, thanks, it's my, some of my favorites. Hey, there's Zach. Welcome, man. 4K for Criterion. Gotta love it. Because people buy their stuff, like their physical media, books, like online. And that's, I think, that's the thing I think that people have gotten like kind of confused with when it comes to the doom and gloom of like, oh my God, physical media is gone. No, not so much. Streaming takes the place of television channels, of cable. And that's the way that it's going. That's why CBS is doing a whole Paramount Plus type of thing. That's why, NBC's got their whole Peacock streaming service. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz when it came to everything. Hey there, Kubrick. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Everybody was concerned about the physical aspect of media when they were taking away from the cable services, and they're like, no, don't look the man behind the curtain. And I thought about like some things that it could be. I thought about Mulholland Drive. That was a big release for them. I know that definitely that would be definitely a decent one. Am I interested in the Green Knight? Actually, it looks really interesting. I'm very interested in the Green Knight. Killer and Hard Boiled. Good release. I'll have to see them. No, that's something I'll see get a 4K release. One Criterion. Welcome to the future. But what does this mean for other Kubrick? What does this mean for you? Does this tempt you, Kubrick? Kubrick is one of the biggest Criterion fans that I know. Does Criterion's foray into 4K affect you? What if, for instance, they decide, one, pretty much everybody's going to buy the first Criterion 4K, I think, no matter what it is, unless it's something like really out there. Trainspotting would be a really good release, actually, because I actually do love that film. I was thinking Mulholland Drive, just because it's a film that that was voted Salem 4K as I love that as one of the most important one of the most important films of this of this decade by a lot of critics. So this, it was now isn't that crazy? Like Mulholland Drive literally was a film that was like a rejected TV pilot, and that came out and became such a huge deal. But you know what else this means, or what else this could eventually mean? This could mean that the reason we haven't got it is not bad, dude. It's not bad at all. An Akira Kurosawa set yet is just maybe Kurosawa is going to be their 4K set. Again, this is all just speculation, but it makes sense. And we do know that Ran recently came out on 4K in the UK. So there is a precedent for Kurosawa in 4K. It's happened. Armageddon of the Rock. I used to have the Armageddon 4K. Armageddon Criterion release. I got that like a local shop once. I don't have it anymore, I don't think. Salo 4K. Yeah, Salo 4K would be an interesting choice. The Quasi trilogy would be gorgeous in 4K. If you've seen like there's a recent one that came out on Vinegar Syndrome. Not Quasi, but it's a very Quasi-esque a 4K release. And it's like a documentary. And it's like basically it's shot with 4K cameras, and it's like showing like different areas of the world over a 5-year span of time. And it looks beautiful. And the only thing I could think about when I was like seeing the trailer for that is that I would love to see Quatsi in 4K. So hey there, Jason, are you excited, man? The Archman's too easy. I can see it. I mean, I could see it, but it seems like it's easy. It will be an easy one. Awaken. Thanks, Antoine. That's exactly what I was trying to remember. No, I understand, man. Yeah, there's the thing. Hey there, George. Welcome, man. You get Criterion over there in the UK now, like over for the last couple of years, right? So 4K Criterion, George. The Devil's 4K. Oh. The Devil's uncut. I'll take a Blu-ray of Devil's uncut. 4K Ran was an iTunes 4K free upgrade. Was it really? I got to check that out, actually. There's so much that this opens up the door for. Because say what you will, good or bad, whatever you think about Criterion and their releases now as opposed to the releases back then, this opens up the doors for so many films. The Devil's Backbone, like Del Toro done in 4K. Some of the classic Hitchcock films, like remastered in 4K. Because 4K releases, as good as like a newer film can look in 4K, it's the classic releases. It's the older stuff. It's the stuff with the film reels, with the OCNs. No, you're totally right, Matthew. Criterion has always been late when it comes to format changes. They're very stubborn that way. They usually wait. Like when you see, basically it's like this. When you see that Criterion has gone into a format, you know that the format is pretty safe. That tends to be like the way that it works for Criterion. Night of the Living Dead in 4K. Uncle Fister, that would be insanely amazing. Well, honestly, if 4K wouldn't have worked out for the way that it has, and 4K has really taken off in the last few months. Like, it's done great, but it's really, really taken off like recently. We've seen a lot of new 4K releases coming out, a lot of the boutique labels, like, hey there, Sierra, welcome, man. Going out there and just like picking up the torch and doing 4K with Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, like Blue Underground, Scream Factory, Shout Factory. So much like 4K stuff coming out. It was eventual. It was inevitable. And basically what it was is we had Criterion sitting back and saying, okay, we've got all these films with this massive library of titles that will look amazing in 4K that people will rebuy. Like I love my Criterion collection. If Night of the Hunter comes out in 4K, I'm freaking buying Night of the Hunter in 4K, even though I got the Criterion release right now, the Blu-ray, because again, Night of the Hunter is one of the most beautifully shot films. Like, it is just amazingly well shot and extremely well done. I don't think it's going to be Citizen Kane. I do think that it is something in the last 30 years for their first one. I think they're going to play it fairly safe, although Citizen Kane is about as safe as you can get. Who here wouldn't buy Citizen Kane in 4K? I would. like most film nerds, we grew up like studying that film. But I think they're going to go with something safer. I think that they're going to go with something like a Mulholland Drive. They're going to go something with maybe like an early Wes Anderson, something like that. Maybe not a Wes Anderson so much, even though his stuff sells extremely well for them. But yeah, exactly. They have one of the best catalogs for 4K releases. Hey, Mary, welcome. 4K from Criterion. Finally, Mary. You think they'll come with a Blu-ray as well, or just a single 4K? I think they'll come with both. Criterion aren't the risky sort. When they decide to go over to Blu-ray, Zach, as you remember, they did Blu-ray DVD combo packs, and they did that until people were upset about that, and they wanted to put the price down. And then they did a Blu-ray, and then they did a DVD. So, see, I think CR that they might wait to get a complete Akira Kurosawa box set in 4K. But they may have learned from the double pack. Not learned from the double pack, because a bunch of whiny, complaining people that complained like that. Oh, I gotta get a Blu-ray with my DVD release. It drove me up the wall. It was kind of nuts. Would say it is a new acquisition. I don't think it will be. To be honest with you, John, I'll be surprised if it is. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it is, as long as it's not like a new film, like the newest Wes Anderson film, 9-minute like standing ovation. What kind of movie gets a 9-minute standing ovation? Nothing deserves a 9-minute standing ovation. First, can you imagine Videodrome? There you go. Cronenberg. Cronenberg is very big into Criterion. He loves them, man. He loves Criterion. And he loves to make sure that his films go on Criterion. Lynch, same way, wants his films on Criterion. So to get it up there, to get it to that level, and to see them like just putting out, like, we'll go to their library in a second. We'll look at their stuff. Cronenberg and Lynch are both visual. They're very visual, like people. The Brood in 4K. I'd buy it. Scanners, yeah. How? I never thought about House, but that is such a colorful, freaky, whacked out film. But before we go on, look any further, there's one other 4K news that I'll mention here. So a while back, we talked about the fact that Halloween, the first 5 are coming out with 4K releases from Scream Factory. More 4K news. It has recently been said by Cliff McMillan, the acquisition guy, over at Scream Factory, that, oh, by the way, what you know about the Halloween films 1 to 5, that's not everything. There's brand new stuff, features, and other surprises coming onto those 4Ks that we don't know about yet. So these aren't just like 4K releases with a regular release with just the regular features. There's new features, maybe even new prints of certain films, maybe extended versions of certain Halloween films coming soon. So we don't know yet. We're going to find out sometime in August about what's being added to the Halloween set. And apparently he said it was magnificent. I said it's going to be something. It wasn't stuff that's been done before. Done on one Criterion film. That's okay, man. This is the way to start, George. He said this is all new stuff. Didn't you like the Arrow crash rather than the Criterion crash? Well, yes, because it was in 4K. But here, Kubrick, we could finally get the crash in 4K from Criterion. 3 to 4 hours of outtake. That'll be amazing, Ken. I would love that. But let's look at some of the Criterion stuff. We'll talk about some other stuff too. For those that don't know, that haven't seen it yet, that are on my Patreon, that are a member of the Crimson Cult, this Friday at 6 ADT, I am doing my very first Cult of Giallo video I'm very excited about it. The link is up for the patrons, so make sure you go in and set the reminder because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start off. I was initially going to do. I had a film in mind that I wanted to start with, but I'm doing more of a general one. For those that aren't familiar, I do something. I have a Patreon, and we have like certain exclusive videos that are on there. One of them is a series that we started. We're starting on Friday called The Call of Jello. I'm also going to be doing an ongoing text document that's going to give you basically Jello, basically a guide to buying Jello, like Jello films to buy, and like different versions of like Jello films, which is a better version to buy, which might be the best for you. It will be an ongoing text document, and it'll be part of our Call of Jello. So keep an eye out for that. A lot of work coming in. Just got your Blu-ray from Severin. Oh, nice. See, I got a lot of the newer stuff, and I got the some of the convention stuff. So mine won't be coming for. I don't think mine's going to be even sent out, like even for another couple weeks. You found footage from part 5. I wonder if it could be actually. Oh, see, a lot of good 4K news right now, isn't there? Criterion's going into 4K. Just when we thought the Halloween was just going to be just a remaster with just a double dip of features, it's got brand new stuff and apparently exciting stuff. So I'm going to bring up the Criterion. Let me know what I always know what you get, George, because I always watch your Facebook page to see, and wish that I was there. So let's check. Let's look at Criterion Shop, some stuff that could eventually come out on 4K. Things like the Bicycle Thieves. Would love to see that on 4K. Let's go to. I hate when they do it like this. We got stuff like Seven Samurai, Amarcord. Now Fellini, there's already been a Fellini set put out. This would be a beautiful 4K release, guys. Right here, John Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast. The thing looks fantastic would look fantastic in 4K. Watch Siege, nice. Great title shot over in Halifax, actually. Let me know when you get your Lindsay Baker. One of the reasons that I didn't start on certain releases is because I want to do like a video where we can talk about some of the films to pick up during the Giallo for Giallo stuff. So I'm going to give you guys some ideas, but maybe a hit on your pocketbook. But just so you know, there's going to be some things by getting the Lindsay Bakers that you already had the game. Stalker 4K. I never even thought of it. Oh. A Night to Remember will look gorgeous in 4K. That's the only good Titanic film. I'm saying it. Come at me. I'm saying it. Samuel Fuller's The Naked Kiss, Shock Corridor. You could even double feature that, man. The Samurai Trilogy is there. Things like, we're getting the Picnic at Hanging Rock is actually beautiful. Peter Weir, Picnic at Hanging Rock, The Last Wave. M would be a film if the elements are there. It would be great. Diabolique would be amazing in 4K. You're satisfied now, Kubrick. You never know. You never know. What do you think, Jose? What do you think, Master Cass? Criterion is going to 4K. They're doing their first 4K release is coming out. We don't know what it is yet, but it's that door is open for Criterion and 4K. And if this does well, you can be pretty damn sure. We can be pretty damn sure anyway that Criterion is already thinking about what their next, or they've already planned out what their next 4K releases are going to be. That's your vote, Seven Samurai. I'm thinking, and I mentioned this earlier, that maybe one of the reasons we have not gotten, why we got an Ingmar Bergman box set, why we got a Fellini box set, why we got a Varda box set, what we haven't got a Kurosawa box set is because maybe Kurosawa will be the first Criterion 4K box set. And the fact that there are some 4K prints out there, like Ran, leads me to think, this not. It would get my money. I know that much. I have stopped buying Akira Kurosawa stuff from Criterion for the reason that I've been waiting for a box set. I don't think Silence of the Lambs. I mean, I really don't. I know what you mean, where it's more of a kind of a mainstreamy-esque title. But I think it's a little bit too new. It's a little bit too double dippish. Oh, yeah. Like, if you're thinking like Shawscope is fantastic, imagine a 4K Kurosawa box set. That will blow the roof off everything. See, that's what we got to start tweeting at them. That's what we got to start telling them now, is that because there's so many options. I mean, there's movies that I like here. I love Wages of Fear. I think it's fantastic. Time Bandits will look incredible in 4K. Like, not everything needs a 4K release. Pressburger and Powell? Yes. Anything Pressburger and Powell. The Red Shoes. 4K release. Yes, please. Movies like Brazil, For All Mankind. Carnival of Souls. I would buy the hell out of a Carnival of Souls 4K release. Like, in a second, man. I love that film. And it is so weird and trippy. Yeah, they mentioned something for... See, Master Chaos, that makes me think, if it's going to be something that's going to like get in on a lot of people, it's going to be the first 4K release. You want something that's going to be visually stunning as well. So I'm leaning towards Mulholland Drive. Because it still has that like that feel of, one, it'll look amazing in 4K. Two, critics, labeled it like the most important film of like the last decade type of thing. It won, a bunch of things that way. Apparently it's going to be, I would love, if it is Movie Cave Dave, man, it's been a long time, dude. If it is Citizen Kane, I am so happy. But if it's something of the last 30 years, I'm going to go with either a Wes Anderson or Mulholland Drive. I'm going more towards Mulholland Drive because I think it'll get a lot of buys. I would not even imagine which Wes Anderson they'd go with, but they do a lot of stuff. I was given the Mulholland Drive as the Blu-ray as a gift a couple years back. No, the first Criterion was, what's the name of it again? Grand Design, I think. I don't even know if they have the rights to it anymore. Grand Illusion, that's what it is. Grand Illusion. I don't think they have. Has Criterion put it since it came? Like, I don't think they have. I'm probably wrong. Blazing Saddles. You're going to be satisfied with this anime, man, until you see your first Criterion. Until Kubrick's walking by his local Best Buy, and he sees them put a Criterion in one of the 4K players, and then he's stuck. They have not announced it yet, Piswell. By the way, happy belated birthday, man. So happy birthday to Piswell, man. He just recently had his birthday there, so I missed your birthday stream. I'm so sorry, man. But I was kind of tired out of it that day. I got to talk to Daisuke, actually. He's got to be super excited. Like, anybody's excited. He's excited. We are doing pretty good, man. I mean, overall, we're not moved yet. I wouldn't be surprised, like it was something Lynch. I know there's rumors about Citizen Kane, um, which will be a great release. But if it's going within the last 30 years, there's so much to go with. Like there's stuff they just recently updated, like Furious and stuff like that, that I've got on DVD. Um, I can't see it being one of the more recent releases. I'm sticking with my to my guns on the fact that Akira Kurosawa could be their first 4K box set. If this isn't just a kind of like a we're doing a 4K every once in a while type of thing, and they're going in on 4K the way that a lot of people think they are, then I do think that I think it'd be pricey, but I think a Kurosawa box set on 4K. See, Biswell, I'm at the point right now, man, where we're moving to Morocco, and when we do, that this becomes way more of a job for me than it is right now. Uh, so, because teaching don't pay much, especially when you're just doing lectures and stuff around different areas. So, yeah, you're going to see me go all in, guys, on this this channel when I hit Morocco. But I just want to get moved right now, actually, and get things done, get it out of the way. Human Condition in 4K. I don't think I'd grab that. Not that it's a bad film or anything like that. I mean, like, Human Condition is great. Warner would do a 4K system. You're probably right, John, actually. Coming soon. Do they list the 4K here? No, they don't, do they? See, some days I wish they would have waited on. Especially now, Ashes and Diamonds. I remember there was like a release. Arrow Academy put a release Ashes and Diamonds like a few years back. Because I am that old. Oh, and there's nothing wrong with Human Condition. I just don't think I'd upgrade it to 4K. Hopefully, once we get moved, Piz, that we're not going to move again. Because I am Macbeth. Orson Welles Macbeth would be a nice release. And now I'm biased towards that film. You guys know, because, of course, it was shot in Morocco, so. Can you imagine John Waters? If he's like, oh man, we're moving. I'm in like Atlantic Canada. I'm in Nova Scotia here, which is like, we've only been here for like around 3 to 4 years. I'm still not used to the place. But we're literally going to have to like crate stuff up. My better half, actually, she's from Morocco. She was born in Casablanca. Just like the movie. And we met a few years back. We've been together now for quite a while. And around 3 years ago, guys, isn't it? Her uncle bought us a condo in Morocco for as a Christmas gift. And there's somewhere we were getting some renovations done, but the world caught on fire, and that stopped that. See, To Kill a Mockingbird in 4K. That would be a really good release, actually. There's just so many options. Warlock, did you hear? Piz, did you hear that there's new features on those Halloween 1 to 5 4Ks that are coming out? Brand new features that we do not know about. Stuff that's not going to be announced until sometime in early August. And that kind of blew my mind. Yeah, like apparently Cliff McMillan was on a podcast or something, and he announced that this wasn't it. That what we saw wasn't it. That's the regular stuff. There's features It's going to be different. I mean, I think we may get maybe some different cuts, man. They got to make quadriad goblins to do it. I love your EC comics. Is that the Crypt Keeper or the Vault Keeper? It did. I think that's why they had to come back with, like, by the way, you don't know everything. You think, like, just when you think the Halloween sets, the Crypt Keeper, nice. Huge EC Comics fan here. I grew up with, like, obviously not with EC Comics. I'm not that old, but but I grew up with the Gladstone reprints of EC Comics that would show up at my local like drugstores, and it was neat because they'd have like 2 issues and like 64 pages in one comic. You guys, you're all getting your ship notice. That's because you. Did anybody here get their ship notice from Severin who bought any of the new releases? That's what I want to know. I know what 4K is. People complain about it. Criterion could find the fantastic Amerson's director's cut with the ghost commentary with Orson Welles, and there'd be complaints. And we know where those complaints would come from. We know exactly, Craig, where those complaints would come from. They would come from the same place that they always come from, and we know the forum. We know it. We know what it is. We don't need to say the name. Footage from part 5 that no one's ever seen, and Don May from Synapses footage from part 1. Ooh. That could be part of it. They said that this is new features. It's not something that they're going to be like that's been put out before. So this isn't them like porting over features like previous features. And little Scream Factory announcing Alone in the Dark are rendered on Netflix. Your opinion has not changed. Great cast. Don't. Oh, gotta pass. I think you should think about it, man. Like think about the features. Think about the features, Jay. So Master Chaos, did you hear about it? About the other features? It's a bad movie, the first 4K Criterion, but I still buy it. I think a lot of people would, George. Criterion's a big. Is a big. They're one of the big names when it comes to like film collecting. They're a film school in a box. The most important films, quote unquote. That's kind of what they do their whole thing on. So a lot of this will be their first 4K, and that means that whatever the hell it is, you're going to get people buying it because they're going to want to have that first 4K that Criterion put out. I'm expecting big stuff from these Halloween. So I was going back and forth. I was like, maybe I won't pick it up. I really want to get that Gold Ninja Indiegogo. Nice. Let's see. If anyone wants to check out the Gold Ninja Indiegogo, right there. Well, don't check it out right now, but keep it for later. Ninja rules. Only a ninja can kill a ninja. Who's the first person to tell me which ninja film that comes from? So these babies here are getting some extra features. Michael Myers, you're going to suck me in again. Yes, you are. You're right, Sierra. It is Ninja 3. I was disappointed. Hey there, Eddie. Welcome, man. I was disappointed about I know it wasn't like Arrow's fault and there's nothing they can do about it, but the documentary being dropped from Dune, that was a big blow to me. I think this is a good thing, Jay. There's new features coming out for these Halloween films. Brand new features. Maybe even brand new cuts of films. I'm glad you said that. I actually really like the artwork on these too. You get some people that really like don't like them. I don't think I'm gonna get the big bundle. I wanted to get the big bundle, but the Shaw Scope set's coming out too, so I may just order these kind of like one or two at a time. This is what I want. This is like love to be able to grab this. Like the one with the pins is great too, but like even this one right here, because I like unlike some people, I love the art, and I would love to have all these posters. Third and fourth, yeah, I'd agree. Especially the fourth is one that really gets me. Halloween 5 with cutscenes on game. That's what I think we're going to get. Actually, I think we're going to get that. I think that like he didn't just come out and say, "Oh, there's more features on the Halloween stuff." He came out and said, "There's more features. There are new features. There's new stuff coming on there that you wouldn't expect." Um, I think they're going all out. I think this got leaked before it was supposed to get leaked. I would like to see part 6 and up happen in the future. It's just where they're at. It's the company that has them. Kino just announced 2 huge 4Ks. What did they announce, Ricky? I guess the best place to check is, I guess, down the list, right? Go to Twitter. They tend to have like all this stuff. Blu-ray of Nothing But Trouble. But Buster Rhymes comment, dude. You may laugh, but yes, I would definitely have to leave my current job. This Warlock. So remember when I said I was going to be taking this like way more seriously. This is going to be this is going to be a major source of job and income for me. So pray for me, man, because I'm going to be going all in. I'll be doing some like teaching as well, but it doesn't pay very well. So this will definitely be a major source. Until then, I would watch Buster Rhymes commentary because I actually like. And people, I'm going to get hate for this. I know I'm going to get hate for this. I'm going to say it. I like Resurrection. There you go. Bring on the hate. I liked Halloween Resurrection. Not all of it. Like some of it, the idea that he had going for it definitely wasn't what came across. Once again, the director's like version of like what he wanted a Halloween film to be did not come across in what it actually became. But Buster Rhymes was fun. You remember Buster Rhymes? Yeah, you do. Like, oh man, I hate that. But what do you remember about that one? Every scene you remember, every big scene you remember from Halloween Resurrection, all the good, all the scenes that you actually remember, they're all Buster Rhymes. It's Buster Rhymes trick or treat, motherfucker, right? Until you unsubscribe. It's true. Like, think about it. Like, whether you really love it, you hate it, or you love it, that's what you remember. When you think about like the scene where he's like, hey, I got the mask on. You get out there. We can't have 2 of them with the mask on. Jay, I agree with you, man. Geek Gab on Twitter announced them. Okay, I don't know who Geek Gab is, but let's find out. I have to subscribe to them. I wouldn't go that far. It's fun. Like, it is like cheesy fun, man. That's what it is. It's like, I don't think anybody should go on. Like, I like the film, but for me to go on and say, well, you know what? Resurrection, a masterpiece. Nope. Fun? Yep. Masterpiece? No. Okay, what do we got here? Clinton lead on the score. Coming to 4K Ultra HD. What do we got? For a few dollars more. Well, that was kind of like rumored before. and a fistful of dollars. Yeah, so they are going to put those out. Did you ever interview Rosenthal? You know, it'd be fun for you to get an interview. This does some great interviews, by the way. Some really cool stuff. Him and Master Chaos they got the interview thing like down to a T. I get to do a few, but those guys really get their stuff. And when you guys should have Rosenthal on. I'm just going to say it right there, right now. It's definitely something that you should think about. Also, Daniel Ferens, get him to talk about Halloween 6. And I'd watch that, and I'd think about Hard Target 4K. Hard Target. That is cool. I've been down with Hard Target. I watched Black Widow the weekend, by the way. It's pretty good. People got like super upset about like the Taskmaster, and honestly, they didn't do a good job, the Taskmaster. But like for if you were doing a Taskmaster from the comic book, but for the film, it works perfect. You have to choose one, you can choose the original. A good choice for a start, but you got to grab. See, what kills me is he can't do part 6, and I would so love to have the Thorn trilogy. Like people like rag on the Thorn trilogy, and people rag on part 4, which actually blows my mind. I would definitely be there, man, if you have Ryan Turek on. I remember Ryan from his podcasting days. Yeah, like the Taskmaster in the comics is fantastic in the comics, but it makes no sense for the Black Widow film narratively. So the Taskmaster, as it is in the Black Widow film, works for the Black Widow film. And honestly, you can kind of figure it out. It's pretty easy. No big shock when they announce who the Taskmaster is. You kind of see it coming. Jericho's such a fun guy too. You like listen to him like on documentaries and stuff like that as well. I remember when like Eli Roth did the History of Horror. Remember that 6-part documentary that he put out? And I think he's doing like the 2nd season of it. And he made a podcast out of it. So Ryan Turek was one of the guys that actually commented on a lot of that stuff. I remember like because the guys there was Ryan Turek, there was Rebecca McHenry, Ari Kane. I think there's someone else, but that's who I remember. But he's gone on to do like a lot of stuff with Blumhouse, and I'm super stoked about the new Halloween film. Like just putting it out there right now. I'm Halloween Kills. Yeah, a bit of controversy there, man. Well, I do have the new podcast. What's it called now? All the colors of the dark, right? All colors of the dark. Matt, Jose, man, you work with everybody. I'm very jealous. If I come out your way, that's it, dude. You gotta put me. You gotta cameo me in like one of a tiny role in one of your films, man. Something like podcaster in the background, something along that lines. There's so much news and so much 4K coming out. Like I remember a while back when I was doing a video on here. I was talking about 4K, and it was at the point where people were still not sure, and I got so much like pushback. Oh, 4K is not going to make it. Do it well. Blu-ray is a superior format. No. Kick-ass box sets of Elm Street and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's all over the place. I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. But Elm Street's a very good possibility because they're all in one wheelhouse basically. It's the house that Freddie built, and so we could see that soon. Keep me updated, man, on what's happening soon. Maybe when you have something happening soon and you got an announcement, as to chaos. I can interview you about something that you've got going on here. Think about that. A good friend of the channel's, by the way, has sent something my way, which I think is going to come around the 20th. But if it comes early, I'll let you guys know. So I'll be doing an unboxing in the very near future. So keep an eye out for that. Oh, that's the thing. People look at 4K, and I think a lot of times they see it wrong. They expect it to be like shinier or brighter, but it's not. It is. And I go through this all the time. And I say this. There's a really great Films at Home, right? Does a lot of stuff on this. You guys are killer, really? But 4K is meant to look more cinematic. It's meant to sound more cinematic. It's meant to be like the closest you're going to get to watching a movie that's not in a theater or a drive-in, basically, in your home and seeing it the way that it should look. Is 4K. When it's done well. When it's not done well, it looks like a waxy mess. Same with Blu-ray. Same with DVD. When it's not done well, that's what you get. Let's put on. I'm going to put on. Come on. I want the Halloween 4 on its own. Come on, man. Killer Films. I'm trying to wonder. Hey there, Cinematech. I'm kind of wondering if I ever went to that to your website. Good chance I did, man. Really good chance I did. Hopefully, it's not one of the websites that kicked me out. Yes, I've gotten kicked out of websites before, especially forum sites. Speaking of Halloween, the official Halloween forum. Anybody ever go on that? Anybody remember that forum? I'm not sure. Maybe it's still around. I don't know. But there was the official Halloween Films forum. So it's around the time of Rob Zombie. The only thing people say, I don't think 8K is ever going to be met, Cinematech, for a physical media format. So I think 8K is meant for streaming. 8K is meant for filming to an extent, and for gaming. But I don't think we're looking at getting an 8K disc. Ryan Turks had a shock feature. Was he really? Well, I guess back in the day, I mean, when you're starting out, and you get a big interview, and I guess websites are trying to scoop other websites and that type of thing. I kind of get that. You get that professional jealousy going on, but eventually most of it worked out. You wrote for Shock too, so See, I wrote a little bit for a couple comic websites back in the day. They're not, which aren't around anymore. My first guess quote unquote pro internet article. Ryan, I remember that. I remember Ryan. I remember that was an article about leaving, actually not buying Batman, leaving Batman comics because of the artwork of Kelly Jones. My very first my very first article that I got published online. What's the best place to get the 4K in Canada? That's a good question, Antoine, and something I've been asking myself like crazy. Enjoy the guitar, man. Something that I've been asking myself like crazy. What is the best way to get this? Because I was out. Shawscope had me. I know it. Killer film. Then I've read your stuff, guys. But yeah, what I was saying before, Nicolas Cage box set. Be interesting. Well, depends on what the film's about, Dave. I got kicked off of the Halloween forum twice because they didn't like my opinions. And I got kicked off the Friday the 13th fan forum once because my name, by the way, was Friday the 13th 5 Rocks or something along that lines. And yeah, a lot of people didn't take that too well. Really? Like not even part 3? Because you got to think that part 3 is going to be like pretty visually stunning, man. I'm super stoked about part 3 in 4K. Hey Jay, can you still hook me up with Delirium magazine? Because if you can, I'm right here, man. Message me. You got me on Facebook. I didn't go to Children of the Corn forum. Oh, that would have been a laugh. That would have been hilarious, Cinematech. Because I like Children of the Corn 2 better than Children of the Corn 1. So some people, I would appreciate it, Jay. I will unbox it here. But I like Children of the Corn 2 better than Children of the Corn 1. I know that's heresy to say, but I do. I just think it's way more fun. And Children of the Corn 1, I love that over the topness of the kid in part 2. I really do. And again, I was like young at the time, and Christy Clark was on Days of Our Lives, and she was the girl on like the teen girl. I was a teen at the time on and Children of the Corn 2, and she was cute, and the mom was like super hot. So Rosalind Allen, I think it was. So yeah, a lot of really good stuff. Yeah, part 5 is now a favorite among fans, but back then the entire horror clique in LA is very cliquey. Would I fit in Master Chaos? Would I fit in with your horror clique? Jay, you got good taste, man. Children of the Corn 2 is one of my favorites. I love that film. Hellraiser, Return of the Living Dead need 4Ks. Yeah. And part 3, yeah, though we won't get it because Vestron has it, man. But Melinda Clark in 4K. Who doesn't love Melinda Clark in 4K? Because hell yeah. See, I'm not as big on the first like Children of the Corn, and I'll put it to you why. I'll tell you right now why. Oh, that's probably me too, man. Then I'm too self-conscious. I'd be pretty screwed to that. I'll tell you why. Did you ever read the short story, the Children of the Corn short story? There's a reason. Genesis is actually good. Is a good reason to put it in there, because there have never been two more miserable people put on paper than the hateful, annoying, unlikable couple in Children of the Corn. And Children of the Corn Genesis, that's the remake one, right? That's the remake. It's kind of like the reboot. Is like that. Because one of them is a reboot. And the characters, the male and female lead in it are very unlikable. And people think, oh, wow, what a horrible film. That's closest to the short story that you're ever going to get. That's what killed me, Warlock. I'm way too opinionated when it comes to stuff. I know, I'm pretty laid back here, but God, I have strong opinions on things. A lot of people like really ragged on me early on when I ragged on on the Rob Zombie Halloweens. I don't talk much about them anymore now. Children of Corn 3. That's Urban Harvest, right? I liked Urban Harvest. That's one that I think is underrated. I mean, not to be entertaining or at least mildly amusing. I was watching some old Wit Movie 1 videos earlier, like a couple of days ago, just to see when you appeared in them. Because I got to go back. I got to go back watching that stuff. Hey there, Video Store. You're welcome, man. Are you excited, man? 4K, Criterion, Halloween films are actually having extra features that we did not know existed before, and we don't know what they're going to be yet. As we get closer to the end of the month, obviously there's the upcoming like Vinegar Cinema announcements. There's a box set coming in August. What's that going to be? Probably Cardona, and I'm going to cry, but hopefully maybe it's going to be something else. Maybe some of their Cardona box sets got pushed back till next year. Maybe. And maybe they're going to put another box set in place of the Cardona box set. And I'm desperately trying to wish that into existence. Just saying. Man, Screaming Mad George. Like, speaking like, I remember, so I went to college back 89, 90, like era, when the first time I went to college. I went there for journalism. Oh man, you would be surprised what I get. Like, but to an extent, I get it. I put myself on here. I'm kind of a public figure, I guess, to a minor extent. So people tend to like if they don't like something, they get really, they get really, upset about it sometimes. So that's why I like to say every movie is somebody's favorite movie, even if I don't like it. See, I didn't like the. I've tried to watch. I've tried twice, and I haven't been able to get through them. So, but I haven't watched the Donald Pleasance one yet. I'm hoping that one's better than the other two. That's Treasure. That's the one I haven't watched. Treasure of the Amazon. Cyclone. I wasn't big on Cyclone initially, so I knew I wasn't going to be really big on that. So I started watching it. It's actual news, man. That's from my word to hear. It's actual news. Only for mask, but it's got good. Cardone says only if you have insomnia. I agree. I'll watch Treasure of the Amazons. I eventually I'll get through them. I'm going to review them one of these days, guys. But it's taking time. I went for the Umbrella stuff first. I got sent stuff from Umbrella. I'm glad I did because all of those friggin' movies are good. I loved getting the new stuff for like the new Quentin Tarantino interview. What do you think of the new War of the World TV series? I haven't heard of it. The last one I saw War of the Worlds was back in the 90s. What is worse, Children of the Corn Genesis or Leprechaun Origins? Leprechaun Origins, actually. Way worse. I actually like Drop Dead Fred, but that being said, Warlock, I'm a big fan of Rick Mayhall. So I still got to get to. I haven't watched 6 String Samurai yet. I got to watch that one. I know people go back and forth on that one. I want to say Beaks sort of Jay, but I'm still concerned that they're going to put out a Beaks like Night the Cats, whatever type, like quote unquote horror Cardona box set, when really it's like let's torture the animals box set. So that's and that I think that obviously that takes away from me. Like I love animals. We had all of our cats are rescues, and we will rescue again. Not here right now because obviously we're not we're moving from here eventually, inshallah. But yeah, like it's when I see like guys like Cardona that are just kind of, I don't know, maybe didn't like animals, maybe just didn't like them or something. Brian Yuzna, his work I like. I love Brian Yuzna stuff. No, actually, I'm surprised. Actually, Drop Dead Fred probably should have been part of the Seven Kids line. Severin fans are going to be Severin fans. Jay, got to understand, got to read the website because from what I read on the site, like the stuff that I ordered the new stuff, right? And they said like they're probably not going to get a lot of stuff out until after the 27th, if I read it correctly. So I'm not expecting like if you didn't get new stuff, Master Chaos, You're gonna get your stuff. You got your stuff. Master Cast got his stuff. If you order the new stuff or any of the convention stuff, you're looking at probably like July, like late July, before you even looking at stuff coming out, and it's to be expected. Um, he did not. It's a spiritual watch stuff. Are you sure? Phoebe Cates is pretty cute. What we need is friggin' Necronomicon, man. We need Necronomicon. Like Faust. I do I have Faust? Or was I gonna pick it up from? I didn't. I don't think I picked it up. Like Arrow put it like years ago on DVD. Like there's you put out a box set actually. But I've been like, so I was in Morocco, and I was at a shop there. I think it was like not an HMV, but like one of those like record place, like a Tower Records, whatever it was. Anyway, so I got really excited because I found these two films. I found the Fitville 1, 2, and 3, the prequel. What is the name in English? Coldplay, and I found Necronomicon, and so I got excited, and I picked up the Coldplay box set, and I said, I want to pick up the Necronomicon one, but I can't until like I don't think there's English on. Is there English on this? So what they did, and this was like super cool. You would never see this happen in North America. They took the DVD, they sliced it open, said we'll go check, and they went and checked for me to check to see if there was and like an English, any English or even like English subtitling on the films. They're like, nah, there's no English on it. And they're not like, okay, you got to buy this now. We've opened it up. No, they're cool about it. The year that they did, the year that Severin did the, I'm not sure you remember the Black Glove set, like when they did the Black Gloves collection, did like a big bundle. It had like some Mono stuff. It had their all colors of dark, all colors of Jello. You actually got a pair of like black, like faux leather gloves in there. So that was supposed to be their Black Friday like order. And what I didn't know, I didn't even know that there was a Black Gloves box set. But my better half knows that Giallo's one of my favorite genres, right up there with slasher and film noir. Uh, so she ordered it on the sly for me, and eventually, I think it was late December. It was after Christmas anyway. She said, "I got to let you know now. I ordered the big Black Gloves bundle for you, but it looks like it's not coming till February." And I don't think I did get to February. Yeah, they do take a while, man. Yeah, they're still working on their slips. I heard they got some better slips out now. I haven't seen the new slips, the ones that are supposed to be like better slips. Like, if you're a slipcover person, though, like, let's face it, like Vinegar Syndrome, they're the king. They're the king of slips. They do it. They do it best. And it didn't start out that way. Like the very first Vinegar Syndrome slip that came out, if I remember this correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was The Undertaker, which is a really great Joe Spinell film. And I looked at when they announced it, it had like a coffin shape, which was kind of cool, and it had this kind of like catchy look to it. But it was so freaking tight, man. It was so tight that it was so hard to get out. My better half wants that Shaw Brothers set Warlock, so we're obviously going to grab that one. Uh, but like when they started doing the stuff like Jack Frost and stuff, they did great stuff. That 7 Drops Don't Go in the House in October. Think so? It'd be a good release. Yeah, all of them became websites. This was afterwards, but yeah, like it was like tight as hell in Warlock. I mean, it was like Undertaker was super tight, but they got over it. The growing pains. Yeah, well, if you have it, yeah, October is the perfect time to release something like that. Halloween slip boxes. I've still got it up on my screen here. I'm so stoked about this, and this is my favorite art out of all of them, right here, because this just gets part four. It really does. From like the car, got the car in the truck in the background, the knife with the reflection of Jamie Lloyd in the clown outfit, the fall look of the background. The new environment's going to be like super pricey, isn't it? Well, yeah, if the autograph version is super pricey. You got some good stuff. You got like manga coming, don't you? That's one of your releases you got coming, George. Severin should really do their really redo their their website again. I know they just recently redid it, but as much as I love the company, I really do. But when I go to their website, and I could be totally wrong. Give me your opinion here, guys. Do you feel like you kind of gone back in time? Oh, I so want the Visible Maniac to be one of the releases and Open House. Those would be amazing. I would love both of those. I hope there's a lenticular cover for Visible Maniac actually. Sure. There's one scene. So I'm taking one scene, part four. Um, the shortest time you'll ever see Michael is in part one, because a bunch of people like wore the mask in part one. Did I see Nicolas Cage's new movie, Willy's Wonderland? The one that he doesn't speak in, you mean? Yeah. It was pretty good. Well, Mon's is, but and here's the thing, Mon's a smaller company too. I'm kind of excited about Girls School Screamers, but I've seen it, so I know that people don't go in like expecting like the super next gen slasher because you're not gonna get it. I still got to see worse when the trailer looked great on that. Well, my favorite franchise watch, I go back and forth. It's Friday the 13th. Um, definitely. What's Criterion? We don't know yet, Logan. Are you excited though, man? You're 4K, so will you be buying the first 4K release? I probably will, no matter what it is, because it's going to be Criterion's first 4K release, and that in and of itself going to be pretty cool. You got it, Kitty Cat. Wouldn't that be the release? Daddy really like some stuff? No. So, the Freddy Got Fingered, for those that don't know, uh, was a film done by Tom Green, and Tom Green's a Canadian who had like this Tom Green show. It's like a big thing for a minute. So of course I had to go see it because he's a Canadian comedian, and I did like some of his stuff. And man, did I regret that. It's American film from the last 30 years. I'm still sticking with maybe Mulholland Drive. I'm going to go with Mulholland Drive, actually, as my guess right now. Halloween series is by far the most confusing. You used to be married to me. He was. Lucky guy. Probably. I thought about Wes Anderson, but I think I think they've oversold on the early Wes Andersons too much for it to like be, because I can't think of a release that they could put out that would get the traction. That's up to. the good thing about the Halloween franchise with all the timelines is, hey, if you don't like one Halloween like timeline, it's okay. They got 3 or 4 more of them for you to choose from. You don't like the original timeline? Fine. Here's the Thorn timeline. You don't like the Thorn timeline? That's okay. Here's a timeline where Jamie Lee Curtis runs a school and she's hiding out from Michael Myers. You don't like that timeline? That's okay. There's another timeline where the series is a bunch of hillbillies. You're not big on that timeline. That's okay. We've now got a new timeline where it's just part one, and part and the new one. Some people actually consider Freddy Got Fingered a masterpiece. Hell Resurrection is better than Freddy Got Fingered. And I think I do have the DVD of Freddy Got Fingered in there somewhere. I did see Black Widow. I saw it on Disney Plus, and I really enjoyed it. Good start to Phase 4. But Loki, holy crap! But there's the thing, because there's a 4K remaster out there. Mulholland Drive stemmed from a 4K master, makes it easy for them, man. It makes it easy for them to do. Well, me and Drew Barrymore both love Grease too, so we have that in common. So there. What I've been really excited about, aside from all this, like I know I'm going random all over the place. I do apologize, guys, but this is one of these nights where I don't mind. Hopefully you don't. Scream. So stoked about the new Scream film. I was, and I probably am. I was gonna do some franchise videos, like pretty much rating and ranking franchises, talking about franchises. And the very first one that I'm going to be doing on here, it's pre-tape vid, is going to be Scream. So you'll be seeing me giving my thoughts on the Scream franchise, including my ranking of the films and my thoughts on how they fit in and the killers. And I'll even give some maybe some guesses on what I think, because I want to see and what is going to happen in the new Scream film. Scorsese After Hours in 4K. Yeah, I got the last Blu-ray box set from Scream. I didn't know Turbans was a franchise. I think I've seen the first one. There's more. That's that Cinematheque. That is new to me. Turbulence is a franchise. The airplane film? See, well, their first spy number, it's number 2 actually. The first spy number is The Grand Illusion. I would definitely do a Scanner series review as well. I had planned like about a year ago. I planned to do a bunch of franchise videos, especially like Forgotten Franchise is what I was going to call it, and the angry video game nerd kind of used that like line and it kind of bummed me out at times, so I didn't end up doing it. But what I'm thinking, Logan, and I said this here, and I think this will be epic, is that the reason we have not gotten the Akira Kurosawa box set yet, Logan, is that if they go all in, Akira Kurosawa first 4K box set from Criterion. That's what I'm calling. If they're serious about 4K, Akira Kurosawa box set. Maybe they'd have to do it in volumes like the Shotoscope one. Have a great evening there, George, man. Thank you for coming in, man. Well, what they'd probably have to do, Logan, is probably like do it in volumes, much like the film project one, the Scorsese one, World Cinema Project, and I would be down with that. Malevolence trilogy, definitely. Dude, Mitchell's Massacre, Mafia style in 4K. It would sell, Videodrome would look amazing in 4K. I would be down for Videodrome, man. Cardone's that. Oh man, I'm so. Two more sets, man. Two more We got to go through two more Cardona sets. Like, what kind of pain is that? Have you looked at Cardona's library of films? Like, what's there to come out? Criterion, I say probably around, like, you're looking at a good $50-$60. But a regular boutique like 4K is around like $39. Like 4K is still not cheap. Like you like Black Fridays, you get like some 4Ks that are cheap. You get like $20. You get some sets that are $25-$30. Like they do go down. Like they do go down a bit on price. Tree of Life. People would buy that. People buy anything if they put it in 4K. The Essential sets put in 4K. I don't get it, man. To each their own. Like to each their own, man. When it comes to that, I mean, like I'm like a rag on it because I'm not a fan of Cardona's like stuff. It bores me a bit. Yeah, I find his films are overly long. The animal cruelty thing, don't need it. And I've looked, he's got a bunch of films. He's got a lot of films, but does he honestly have a lot of films that people are clamoring for? Like aside from people say, want to see Beaks, right? You want to see the Night of Cats, whatever the hell that one's called. Like what Cardona ones? Like if this was the dad, I could get it. I'd get it. Cardona Senior, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Night of Bloody Apes, like a lot of cool stuff. Or even if they did like different Cardonas, like Cardona, this is Cardona Junior, and then the next set's Cardona Senior, stuff like that. Totally get that. But it kind of blows my mind. Like a lot of them are. Like the first set definitely has some. I'm not sure about the other ones, but if the one with the cats or the birds, yeah, there's a bunch of it in that. To put on our fridge for the magnetic case. That's what I'm going to go with. That one's already out though, Cinematheque. Tintorero, I think it was Kino put it out. Like you literally have to go into like Cardona's like TV films. They did a bunch of TV films. They're probably better than actually the films that are on the first set that are out there right now, in order to get like some good stuff. Volume 12. I'll be honest, Warlock. I think like some people are going to. I think some people like it because it's vinegar. I hate to say this. Some people like it because of Vinegar Syndrome, and some people like it because he went with extremely low expectations. I'm just saying that, like, but see, for me, like Vinegar Syndromes are not boring. The worst thing you can do is bore me. Like you can do a lot, like go over be fun, be silly, be crazy, be nuts, but don't bore me. Don't. That's the cardinal sin for cinema. Do not bore your audience. Then you've done it wrong. If your audience is bored, if you want to get out of the seat, you've bored your audience. And if you bore your audience, you've done it wrong. I did not see the word titles there, and my God, my mind is warped. See, and I liked Dr. Jekyll. Like I would get, I totally understand people being bored with that film, but not me. It was just crazy enough that I really enjoyed it. I'm a sub too, but here I am, first time I'm a subscriber, Ricky, and they announce, hey, we're not just putting out Cardona, we're putting out 3 box sets in the next 6 months. Thanks, really appreciate that. Thank you. I hate it. I dug all Dracula, but I would get people not liking it. I thought it was fun. Great cinematography in that film, actually. There's so many films still to come. Like, what do we know? Well, we know most of the stuff except for the box set and one title, right? There's a 4K coming in August, right? From Vinegar Syndrome, which that we don't know what it is. We don't like. It didn't say like a horror or anything like that, so I'm guessing it's not horror. But there's like a 4K release coming in August from Vinegar Syndrome. Because I know we got the, oh man, oh no, oh man, like that's coming. I can't remember the title right now, but it's worst slime rating of all time. So that one, that's coming. Gross Screamers is coming, a box set, which I normally would be excited about, but you do the math and it's going to be Cardona, so I'm not excited. Like, I never flip things. I keep things in my collection. But I've never been more tempted to sell something than the Cardona ones. Christine Applegate, man. Gotta love that. I like Halloween 5. I think it gets too much for a bad rap, actually. And I didn't mind Tina. I did think that was a stupid idea to have, like, Danielle Harris not be able to talk for most of the film. And a bit of a cheat to actually say, oh no, she didn't actually kill her mother after all. They should have went all in. Part 4 had a fantastic ending. Part 4 is a great film. Tough Guys Don't Dance. Thank you, Cemetery. So yeah, Tough Guys Don't Dance. That's going to be an interesting film. We'll put it that way. For like the longest period of time, pretty much like Vinegar Syndrome would announce stuff, it would like line up with my taste, and I was like, oh, they're putting this out. Like, yeah, this is a nutty film. I love this type of stuff. But lately it's been a hot and cold type of thing. Like Cardona, Scanner's Cop, fantastic. So it's been a bit of hit and miss. No, the Tough Guys Don't Dance is actually one of the regular titles. It was announced as one of the releases for the month. Because there's 4 releases coming out for the month of August. There's Tough Guys Don't Dance, Gross Screamers, a 4K release and a box set. Back when they did the sale, they did like a listing of all of the titles. Let me just check here. I got it here. So yeah, August is Tough Guys Don't Dance, Gross Screamers, 1 box set and 1 UHD. If you get the Peakorama releases, it's going to be. I actually like them. Let me bring them up here for you guys. For those that don't know what's coming out on Vinegar Syndrome this month. We got Through the Fire, The Lamp. No. It'll seem like it. It's not a comedy, but it'll seem like it. Spellcaster was really fun. And Killer's Delight. Through the Fire is apparently going to be the iffiest one, but the Lamp, great release. This is the obviously this came out before from like Shout Factory, but this is like a new cut of the film with features in the right aspect ratio. Called The Outing, and it's Killer's Delight. Also, cool little title. I'm very interested in that one. Less interested, but still fun. The regional horror film Through the Fire. Oh, Sip on the Lamp is amazing. I like the Killer's Delight too. I think the Killer's Delight is a step that's going to look way better, and when they put it out. I will hopefully be there, man, for your big return on Friday. What else is coming out from Vinegar Syndrome this year? September, you get 4 releases, one never on disc slasher, Shallow Grave from 1987, a double feature Giallo, Nothing Underneath, Too Beautiful to Die, and Devil's Story. And if you got Peakorama stuff, you got a Peakorama in like September as well. October gets 4 Vinegar Syndrome releases and a Peakorama. I don't get the Peakorama stuff, so I don't know that stuff. 2 box sets. They better not be Cardona. Just putting it out there, man. Like, it's October. Give us horror stuff. Cardona doesn't count. Never on Blu-ray slasher and a crazy supernatural slasher. November, you get 5 releases, 1 4K UHD, 1 3D Blu-ray 4K UHD horror, which we now know is Flesh for Frankenstein, and 3 other horror films that are coming out in November as well. So a lot of good stuff coming out over the next 6 months from Vinegar Syndrome and Cardona. Got to say what? No, Devil's Story. Devil's Story. Much different film. I don't want it. Like some, I don't want it. Like the Cardona's gonna be horror themed. What? Beaks? Night of a Thousand Cats? Literally. Like it's just it's the animal cruelty like Cardona set. He doesn't have enough horrors for 2 volumes. Like honestly, just go look at his like it is the stuff that he put out there. He put out a lot of films, guys. Not a lot of horror films. Not a lot that are going to fit under horror. It'll be hard to get it's going to be iffy, like to get a box set of Cardona horror, let alone 2. Like there's a bunch of Cardona stuff out there. Now, like he's got a lot of like the adventure stuff and stuff like that. Oh, well, November is definitely not the month of Cardona. The big release and that's Flesh for Frankenstein, man. Plus, there's a UHD, a 4K UHD coming out, a horror one, which won't be Cardona. They won't give Cardona a month. I think you think they're more big on the Cardona than they actually are. If these were sets that they were certain on, they would not be rushed out over the next 6 months. But they're in. They're locked in now. Those Cardona sets are coming out. They got the rights. They got to put them out. We've noticed that one of the Cardona sets are cheaper than other box sets that Vinegar Syndrome puts out. 2, they're coming out with all 3 of them coming the next 6 months. Not because let's celebrate Cardona. I don't think so. Maybe they are, but what do I think it is? This is Aaron bitches about Cardona stream. It's more along the lines of, hey there, Neil, welcome, man. It's more along the lines of we own these here. We've committed to them. Let's get these out as quickly as we possibly can. People aren't as excited as we thought they were going to be. That's what it was. That's what I'm calling it as right now. That'd be so sad. I feel bad. I feel bad for Vinegar Syndrome. I do, because I feel bad for me. But here's the thing, Warlock. This is the killer part. I can't get, I'm moving, man. This is it. This is my this is my subscription for Vinegar Syndrome. This is my one-time chance to do this. And it's just bad timing. Luckily, there's a lot of other great releases coming up. I don't think is there anybody actually said Night of a Thousand Cats? Like, really? Like, does anybody actually want to see cats getting thrown? Do I feel bad for Cardona? Did he feel bad for the animals? No. So no. No, I'm sad that it's passed on. But there are some people like Bruno Lenzi and stuff that did some Virgilio Diodato that did a cannibal film, and there's animal cruelty within that one cannibal film. But you get to see a lot of the other stuff. And you realize that, it's not something that they go with. It's a stock and trade. And they're too freaking long. Cinematek's right. They're so long. Ever consider the same distribution site from Morocco? Not really. I mean, it's different there. Rules and censorship and stuff that are different over in Morocco. I thought of starting a business there, but it wouldn't be anything along the lines of anything. It won't be anything film related. Though I would like to shoot something. It is in my opinion, it's their biggest miss. It's the biggest mistake that they've ever made. Because they've had so much, they've done so much right, though, I got to be honest. Hey, Matt, welcome, man. Hopefully you like The Quiet Place, too. Did you watch Quiet Place with your youngest? Really? How young is your youngest, man? Yeah, I bitch about it. I know there's lots of people that like it, and it's great for people to like it, but I do think it's the biggest mistake they ever made. Cardona forums. Oh man, I'll be. How quickly would I get kicked off? See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I was no good on the forums back in the days, because I was honest. I'm honest. People say, "Oh, Aaron likes everything." I don't. I really don't. But what I like, I really enjoy. See, I got to get them. I got no choice, Zach. They're coming to me whether I want them or not. You already saw it. There's the thing. Homegrown Horror Set, amazing. TV terror sets, incredible. Love that stuff. Great stuff. I would love. My God, that's a real thing? I thought you were joking about Cardona Forum. That's a real thing. Okay, well, I feel bad now. I think we are, but I don't think we're getting any till next year, actually, Zach. A Homegrown Horror, gorgeous looking set. I don't have it yet. I got to get it. More Giallo. I agree, man. More Giallo. I'm super stoked at the double feature. Oh, remember there. That's when I got kicked off of a Facebook page. I'm not sure if you guys remember this or not, but there's this guy that said he liked Scars of Dracula, and a bunch of bullies, really, on the Hammer Facebook page, when the Hammer Facebook pages literally went in, and they started tearing him apart. They started picking on him. And the guy was, he was backing out. He wasn't saying much, but he said he liked Scars of Dracula. Oh, how could you like Scars of Dracula? and they were just brutal to him. But people that know me and know me a long time, I suffer a lot of things. Bullies are not one of them. So I got online and I started to post. I'm like, hey, you know what? I really like Scars of Dracula. And like, are you, how can you like Scars of Dracula? And they were like championing, like, of all things, like the last one, the Satanic Rites. And I'm like, but Satanic Rites kind of sucks. Like, it's not a very good film. And they flipped. And they're like, well, and they tried to bully me in the way that they were bullying the other dude, except that I don't back down. And so later on that day, I just go back on like, hey, my looks like there's no notifications for the post anymore. And then I go like, you have been blocked from the Hammer like Facebook page. And the same dude, the same bully, and his group of people on another Hammer Facebook page, which I ended up getting blocked from as well because again, I don't like bullies. Criterion Goes release early. Ooh, Boogie Nights would be interesting. See, oh yeah, Cushing is the girls, but Satanic Rites is the worst, in my opinion. Some people love it. Now, if you love it, you love it. That's fantastic, man. But it's just I consider it like the kind of the lower end when it comes to that. Like I'll watch like Count Dracula from Jess Franco first. Antichrist would be a great release. We haven't had a good release. Have we had a good release of Antichrist? The last one I remember is like back in the Anchor Bay days. Like maybe there was one after that. But the last one I remember is like back in the Anchor Bay days. Remember that it's a horrible cover Anchor Bay had for it anyway. But I used to have it back in the day. I don't think I got any more. Boogie Nights over Magnolia for sure. If they're going to put a PTA film out, huge fan of Boogie Nights. Love that movie. Get some Ginger Lynn in there, which is never a bad thing. Ginger Lynn in 4K, right on. I'm all down for that. Was that the monochrome cover? Was that the one? It had like the girl face on it, right? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see it come out. I did like 8072. I liked it a lot better than Satanic Rites, to be honest with you. Especially, but man, like to be honest with you, I would love to see the film attached to the opening of 8072. Because wow, what an opening that film had. Frankenstein Unbound, Roger Corman. I actually like that film. That was like big back in the day. Like Frankenstein Unbound, like was one of those films was like a comeback Corman. Like the people that I spoke with actually talked about it a lot. Nun's Face, that's around. Hammerbox and Fork. Oh my god, dude, that would kill me, man. You know what, Hammer's like that. My better half would like she'd bury me if a Hammerbox came in. Like, oh, we got to get the Hammer set. It's going to be in 4K. It makes sense, like from what he did with Sleepy Hollow. And okay. This is like, I guess this is was my growing up point when it comes to like YouTube or my kind of my coming of age sort of thing. I used to watch a lot of YouTubers, and I like the reviewer YouTubers and stuff like that. So there was a guy, and he's still going on, but he had like the controversy and stuff like that. But God, what's his name? Nostalgia Critic. So I used to watch a bit of his stuff, and then there's this video, and it's Nostalgia Critic Sleepy Hollow review. And this is before like it became, before I didn't watch the stuff because other stuff. But I started watching the review. And it's like, I'm thinking like maybe Sleepy Hollow is pretty good after all. I'm like, what do you mean pretty good? I'm thinking, what do you mean pretty good after all? People like Sleepy Hollow. I said, because there's a thing called Hammer that I just found out about. And I'm like, yeah, no, bye. There's a thing called Hammer that Nostalgia Critic just found out about. And I was done with the Nostalgia Critic. I don't own the New World, actually. But I'm actually kind of curious which cut to watch. Sell a Kidney. I like Blood for Dracula. But I understand. Like it's definitely not in everything type thing. Not in a long time. Like the Night of the Hunter one. Is that the one with Richard Chamberlain? Am I thinking of the right one? I think it was Richard Chamberlain, right? I'm pretty sure it's Richard Chamberlain. If it is, yeah, I dug it. Not as good as the original, obviously. That's like they put out like a my favorite my favorite Hitchcock film. They put it out, Shadow of a Doubt. They put it like a TV remake of that, which is not very good. So, but it's a curio anyway. So much news, guys. What if it's John Water? What if it's a John Water film? What if Polyester is coming out in 4K, or Female Troubles? Walking is best moves over the top. Like I think that's when he does his best stuff because he's so good and he just hits it like Walking. It's that's for the Bay Street video. Check pricing on import. Put an import title. $70. Holy crap! I saw 2050. Not a huge fan. That's Udo Kier is great. Like he makes the film. Pink Flamingo. Oh, I love Waters, but I'm not quite sure, man. That's a bit of a rough one. Like Sailor, but just double feature Pink Flamingos and Sailor, but those both out on 4K. That'll test your 4K metal. There hasn't, I mean, like, which is surprising. I mean, there was a little bit of hype at the beginning. People love the slip cover of the lamp, but a lot of people have the outing and they're not like sold on the other one. Killer's the Light, I don't hear a lot of people talk about. That's the one I'm kind of most excited about. Through the Fire is a regional horror film, but it's not exactly, The Hunger. I love The Hunger, so I would love that. A very visual film too. See, I don't like a Serbian film, but that's okay because I get that it's a beautifully shot film. A lot of people like it, but it's not my jam. But I hate the fact that somebody can get bullied for liking a certain film. Well, that's the thing, and I'm a huge slasher fan, Sammy. Like, you know that. You've watched my channel for a while. I'm a huge slasher fan, but it doesn't start and stop there. Like it doesn't start and stop. Like I'm glad. I'm super stoked every time like a new slash release comes out. I don't have it. I'm down. I love that. But so no, I think it'll be something more kind of mainstream. Maybe Wes Anderson, maybe a Lynch, maybe a Cronenberg, something along that lines. Which makes me, I'm thinking of watching Crash tonight, actually. The 4K, which definitely getting the lamp. That'll be a good release. Like it is gorgeous. I got those coming, and with those coming, I got Shiva Baby. So I'll be reviewing those along with Mail Order Murders, which I did watch, which is really freaking good. I do recommend you pick that one up, by the way, guys. And the William Lee film, which I definitely got to get through. Hitchcock would be great. But they said in the last 30 years, so I doubt it's going to be Hitchcock for the 4K. I've been waiting for the right time to watch it. And I think maybe tonight's the right time. Because I know I'm not ready for bed yet. I'm going to be going out for soon, guys. So I do apologize. But I wanted to do a stream tonight. I wanted to talk to you guys, actually. I've had a stressful week. It's been a very long week. And chatting with you guys helps. It helps out. So you guys are awesome. It's a tough watch. My problem with the Serbian film was I didn't buy the director's reasoning behind it. If you want to make an exploitation film, that's like purely exploitation film type of thing. Good. If you want to say, okay, this is actually our political stance, maybe it is, but I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy that it was like genuine. Oh man, Strange Days is one of those that I have been begging for. I love Strange Days. It's a great film. I loved it, Mila. But that's the thing. That's it. The what you see as a lack of direction, and at least in my opinion, Razor, uh, may not make sense for some, but I think for for mail order murder, it makes perfect sense. It makes it like it gets where it needs to go to, and you know, and we get to learn a lot about the company. Let me know how the bird crystal plumage works out, man. Because if it was anything else and it was a straightforward documentary, I understand. But it is mail order murder, and this company and what they, but it was insane. To lack direction, I'm not sure if it was just the way that was done or if it was done that way on purpose, but it's kind of how I would have done it. I think if I was going with it because of the type of company that it is. I still haven't watched the double feature, the 55-minute double feature, but I'll check that out. All right, guys. For those that don't know, the Cult of Jallo is Friday night, and I am super stoked about it. That is that's on my Patreon group. If you're not a patron and you're interested in Jallo and you want to check that stuff out, the information is in the link down below, right next to my merchandise place store, because I have a store and we got Cult of Jallo merchandise, which nobody has picked up yet, which is a bit disheartening. Yes, and Alan, thank you so much. And there's always a donation link down there. It helps at the channel. Be sure to hit like, share, subscribe, and all that fantastic stuff. And I will see you guys soon right here, do another video. There's some boxing coming up. Friday is the Patreon stream, and so much more. So I will see you soon here again in the Call to Cinema. And because I'm going to go make some tea, watch a movie, because right here in the Call to Cinema, there is always another movie.